It was around 2:15 a.m. on a Thursday. I was driving for Lyft in Seattle, mostly picking up the post-bar crowd. I was exhausted, the kind of tired where your eyes burn every time you blink. I told myself, one last ride, then I'm going home. The app pinged. A pickup for Greg about 2 miles away. 4.9 stars. Seemed easy enough. I pulled up to a quiet cul-de-sac. Greg was waiting on the curb. He looked normal, maybe mid-40s, beige windbreaker, receding hairline. Just an average guy. I unlocked the doors, expecting him to hop in the back. Instead, he opened the front passenger door. Now, most drivers hate this, but I didn't want to be rude. He smiled. Hope you don't mind. I get car sick in the back. I nodded. No worries, man. Buckle up. He smelled faintly of old cigarettes and peppermint. Not aggressive, just stale. For the first 10 minutes, he was quiet, just watching the road. Then, he pointed at the little hula girl bobblehead I have glued to my dashboard. You still have that thing? He chuckled softly. Surprised it hasn't melted in the sun yet. I froze for a second. I laughed nervously. Yeah, it's a survivor. Wait, have I driven you before? Greg turned to look at me. His expression was blank, calm. A few times. Last month, I think. You were driving a Honda Civic then, right? The blue one with the dent on the bumper? My stomach dropped. I did own a blue Civic, but I sold it 3 years ago. I've been driving this Toyota for Lyft since 2023. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. I haven't driven a Civic in years, man. You must have me confused with someone else. Greg didn't argue. He just hummed. Must be. My memory isn't what it used to be. He went back to staring out the window. The silence wasn't awkward anymore. It was heavy. I kept checking the GPS. 7 minutes to destination. I just wanted him out of my car. We stopped at a red light. Greg shifted in his seat. How's the knee surgery healing, by the way? He asked casually, like he was asking about the weather. I slammed on the brakes a little too hard. The car jerked. I had knee surgery 2 weeks ago. I hadn't told anyone except my wife and my mom. I definitely hadn't told a random passenger. I turned to him. Who are you? Greg looked genuinely confused. What? I thought I saw a brace on your leg when you walked to the car. Sorry, didn't mean to pry. I looked down at my legs. It was dark. My brace was under my jeans. There was no way he could have seen it. I didn't say another word. I sped the rest of the way. We pulled up to a dark house on a hill. Thanks for the ride, Greg said cheerfully. He got out, closed the door gently, and walked up the driveway. I didn't wait to see him go inside. I floored it. I drove 3 blocks away and parked in a gas station lot just to breathe. My hands were shaking. I checked the back seat to make sure he didn't leave anything trash behind. That's when I saw it. He left his phone. It was wedged between the passenger seat and the door. I knew I should just throw it out the window, but instinct took over. I picked it up. Just as I held it, a notification popped up on the lock screen. It wasn't a text. It was a notification from the Photos app. The photo on the screen wasn't of Greg. It was a photo of me, taken from the bushes outside my bedroom window. The timestamp was from last night. I threw the phone out of the window and drove straight to the police station. They couldn't find anyone named Greg at that address. The house was empty. It had been for sale for 6 months. I don't drive at night anymore. My name is Chloe, and I'm a 22-year-old nursing student living in Oregon. To make some extra cash, I use an app to pet sit for wealthy families when they go on vacation. Last November, I got a request for a weekend gig at a massive, modern property about 40 minutes out of town. It was one of those smart homes, glass walls, voice-controlled lights, the works. The owners, a nice couple, left me with their golden retriever, Buster, and a list of voice commands for the house. The first night was fine, but the second night is when things got weird. Around 11 p.m., a storm knocked out the Wi-Fi. The house system announced, network connection lost, which was annoying because I was trying to study. I was in the living room when Buster suddenly stood up from his bed. He wasn't barking, but a low, guttural growl started rumbling in his chest. His fur was standing straight up. He was staring dead at the floor-to-ceiling glass window that looked out into the backyard. I couldn't see anything outside. It was pitch black. and the reflection of the living room lights turned the window into a mirror. I told Buster to settle down, thinking it was a deer. Then, the house system spoke up. Front door, unlocked. My heart stopped. The smart lock needed a code or a fingerprint. I grabbed a heavy metal flashlight I found in the kitchen and walked toward the hallway. I checked the lock, it was physically turned. I locked it manually and deadbolted it, my hands shaking. I went back to the living room to grab my phone and call 911. But Buster was now barking frantically at the kitchen window on the other side of the house. That's when I saw it. Because the power flickered for a second, the lights inside dimmed. For a split second, the reflection on the glass vanished, and I could see outside. Pressed against the glass, smiling wide enough to show too many teeth, was a man. He wasn't looking at me. He was holding up a phone, typing something. My own phone buzzed in my hand. It was a text from an unknown number. The glass is soundproof. You can't hear me, but I can see you shaking. I didn't scream. I grabbed Buster, ran into the master bedroom, locked the heavy door, and pushed a dresser against it. I called the police immediately. The operator stayed on the line with me for 20 minutes until the sirens arrived. When the police searched the perimeter, they didn't find the man, but they found something that made me quit pet sitting forever. They found a sleeping bag and food wrappers inside the crawl space under the house. The smart system logs showed that the back door had been opened and closed repeatedly for the last 3 days. He hadn't broken in that night. He was already living there before I even arrived. It was a Tuesday night. I picked up a guy, let's call him Alex, from a coffee shop. He looked like a college student, messy hair, laptop bag, staring at his phone. He got in and asked if he could play some audio from his phone via Bluetooth. I said sure. I expected music. Instead, static filled the car speakers. Then, silence. Then, a soft humming sound. I turned the volume up slightly. It was a woman's voice. She was humming, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." My blood ran cold. I knew that hum. I knew the slight crack in the voice on the high notes. That was my wife, and she was singing to our 6-month-old daughter. I had left them both asleep just 2 hours ago. My hands gripped the wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. "What is this?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "What are you listening to?" Alex didn't look up. He was scrolling on his phone. "Oh, it's this app. It scans for unsecured baby monitors and webcams nearby. People are so stupid with their passwords. Look, this one is live right now." He turned his phone screen toward me. There, in grainy black and white night vision, was my nursery. I saw my wife sitting in the rocking chair, holding my baby. "Wait," Alex laughed. "I think the husband is gone. Look, she's alone." I felt sick. This stranger in my back seat was watching my family inside my own home. I wanted to punch him. I wanted to scream. But if I reacted, he would know it was my house. He would know where I live. I swallowed the bile in my throat. "That's creepy, man. Turn it off." He shrugged and disconnected. "Your loss. There's some weird stuff on here." I dropped him off at the next corner. I didn't even charge him. I drove home doing 90 miles an hour. I ran inside and unplugged every single camera and smart device in the house. My wife thought I was crazy. I never told her that a stranger in my car was watching her while she slept. I just told her the internet was down.